In January 2014, renowned Princeton philanthropist, musician, and scholar William H. Scheide celebrated his 100th birthday with a concert at Princeton University's Alexander Hall. The Vienna Chamber Orchestra flew in especially for the occasion. The famed Westminster Choir joined in, and conductor Mark Laycock led performances of Bach, Beethoven, and Brahms. The producers of State of the Arts filmed the concert for later broadcast on PBS stations throughout the United States, and we thought you might be interested in a behind-the-scenes look at the production.
My original script was really just paying attention to the musical flow and just sort of feeling the sort of sections, the segments musically. And so then, you have to then go into this other layer of figuring out, all right, what can you do to make it more visually interesting.
Director Karen McLaughlin has worked on classical music productions all over the world, including many PBS shows from Lincoln Center and the Metropolitan Opera. She got her start in television while still a student at Juilliard.
I was a harpsichordist at Juilliard and needed a summer job, so I noticed on the bulletin board a sign for a summer job in the Lincoln Center area. So I called and they said, Metropolitan Opera. And so that was where I got a summer job. They started doing television. The great asset that I have is that I have a team of people that I have worked with for many years now, Lincoln Center and the Met. So I have 6 camera people operating 8 cameras, and six of those cameras are remote cameras. And that's unusual. It's unusual to have, in a serious production, to have more remote cameras than manned cameras. But in this space, it was just what we had to do. Unfortunately, remote cameras have gotten really sensitive and really good in recent years. It is a fairly good-sized team. And I mean, of course, the very first person was Mark Shubin, who happens to be my husband. It also happens to be a really top-notch engineer in charge.
Give Howard the 98 over here.
Yeah.
And then Hank could... Yes, I've been sleeping with the director for 37 years. I'm the technical manager, so after the producer decided what the show was and who was going to direct it, my job was to implement the desires of the producer and director. The crew that's working on this is sort of a repertory company, and we work on cultural programming around the world. Some of these guys have done shows at the Mariinsky Theater in St. Petersburg, Russia, or at Covent Garden, the Metropolitan Opera. They know how to shoot music shows.
This is not working because we got the dead wood here, and you're just making it all one, and that's good. That works really well.
And take.
Try and get a little bit of light, and the lower the better, because then I can shoot underneath.
Alan Edelman, the lighting designer, has been working on lighting in the arts since I can remember. I mean, I think he came to New York to work in the arts, basically.
I'm the associate director, one of the 3 major functions in television that the Guild covers, which is stage managing, directing, and ADing. Somebody who works in the control room. Basically, you're readying the next shot. A lot of times the director's so into what they're doing, they might say, what's coming next? What's happening? And you've got to be right there with that information.
It's great. I love that you let it pick up when the music picks up.
You're like, put his name on that. This particular show, classical music, is score-oriented. The director generally fills out on the score what shots he or she wants at what time, depending on what the music is about. You've got to understand the rhythm of a musical production, and then what you've got to do is also know classical music.
I'm what you call the score reader. The director takes a copy of the actual musical score. She listens to the music, and then at any given moment, she decides, oh, I want to be on the flute here, I want to be on the oboe there, I want to be on the conductor at this point, you know, and she marks it in the score. But when we're actually making the show, she can't look down and read the music and pay attention to 7 or 8 or 10 monitors and cameras at the same time. So it's my job to keep her place in the music and make sure that the changes of the pictures come at the exact musical point.
When you're working on cultural programming like this, it's terrific to just be in the midst of such wonderful music that's coming from such wonderful artists. Sometimes think that I should be paying for what I do rather than getting paid for it.
I can't imagine being in television if I weren't in music. My life is really the music.
Check your PBS local listings later this year to see the completed public television special, Ode to Joy, a concert in celebration of William H. Scheide's 100th birthday.